during COVID, we discovered my grandfather's recipe book, literally. And the funny part is it wasn't like a nice bound book you'd expect. It was chicken scratch notes, half Greek, half English. Well, not to inherit, because what happens is a lot of testing that has to happen afterwards, right? And some of the recipes were written like a heaping spoonful. Yeah. What spoon? What do you mean a heaping spoonful? That's not a unit of measurement,
Hello and welcome to Your Best Florida Life. Now, this is the show that lets you learn how to live your best Florida life here in the Sunshine State. My name is Brian Best.
And I'm Alysa Casorla. We're your real estate advisors, Florida tour guides, and today, your breakfast buddies.
We're buddies.
Buddies.
All right.
Yeah. Today, we're at legendary The Breakfast Company in Sarasota. And let me tell you, the cinnamon rolls, they're already winning the day.
Yes, they are. And I'll tell you what, a huge shout out to our sponsors today, Pelican Roofing. They're your local experts when it comes to residential roof repairs, replacements, or storm installs. They have over 50 years of experience in the community, and they protect your home so you can go out and live your best Florida life. Check them out at pelicanroofingfl.com.
Today, we're chatting with Dimitri Syros, founder of The Breakfast Company, about his inspiring journey from law books to legendary breakfast place. With multiple locations, this spot's become Sarasota Bradenton's must-go-to. Stick around for our insider tip of the week, plus fun spotlights on Lakewood Ranch gems like Summerfield and Lorraine Lakes. Grab your coffee. This episode's going to be delicious. Your family's restaurant legacy is epic. Tell us about Grandpa George, El Greco Cafe downtown, and that big Greek welcome, my friend spirit. It's alive and well here.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so thanks for having me, first of all.
Absolutely.
My Papu George, so in Greek, Papu means grandfather, right? So my Papu George was my mom's dad, and he really set the tone in our family with hospitality, with restaurants. So he came from Greece, moved to the Philadelphia area in the 60s, and opened his first pizzeria. And then in the 80s, moved to Florida to retire, but obviously didn't happen.
Yeah.
Retired for a few years, then in 1990, kind of got back in the swing of things and opened El Greco Cafe downtown on the corner of Main and Orange.
I got to tell you what, that was one of our family favorites, and we were so sad to see it go away.
Oh, trust me, we all were.
Yeah.
So he had it from 1990 to 2007. So I was born in 93. I lived in Detroit. That's where I grew up. So we would come down to Florida to visit my grandparents in El Greco. And it was so special because he had the kitchen window was open, like it was completely clear onto the street, on Main Street. So as you walking by, you could look into the kitchen and see what was going on in there. And you'd see him cooking. So we'd, as kids, come surprise Papu, we'd put our faces in the window. And he's expecting we're in Michigan, and there he is, and he'd be so happy, So that just set the tone for us as a family, just kind of having that hub, that community hub we'd all come to and just share family memories. And a lot of my favorite memories are taking place in restaurants. That's probably why I opened one. And so he had it for 17 years, Greek food. It was the first Greek restaurant in Sarasota, I'm told. So it's pretty cool to kind of have that legacy. And then his big thing was treating guests like family. That was what it was all about. So everyone that walked in, welcome, my friend. His English wasn't very good, so that was just kind of how he expressed with everybody. But he was known for having that warm hospitality. So we try to carry that forward now in the modern day. And unfortunately, so he retired in 2007. He retired, and he regretted every day after that. He says, "Why did I retire? I miss my people. I miss my friends."
Part of his life.
Part of his life, and lived a really great life in 2019 now. In 2019, he got cancer in July, and he passed away in August or September of that year. So that was kind of a sad conclusion, but also the catalyst for wanting to open the breakfast company. My family got together during that time. We found his recipe books, we're telling stories, we're finding these things. Then COVID happens. We're literally locked in a room all together and decide, you know what, maybe we should get back in the business. Our family's known for that. We miss it as a family, so we kind of thought it was our opportunities. That kind of one thing led to another. We tried to rebirth the family legacy here. That's what we're doing today.
Well, I think you've hit a home run with this thing. So you guys are doing a great job.
Definitely one of our favorite places to eat.
Yeah, so I was looking kind of over your bio, and I noticed some things that were pretty interesting. Okay, so you have a psychology degree.
I did, yes, right.
Okay, no, you did. You do. It doesn't go away, right? Then I saw that you have a master's in education. You taught in the public schools. Then you said, well, I haven't done really enough. I'm going to go to law school in Miami. I mean, yeah. And then all of a sudden you're opening a restaurant. So tell me kind of like what drew you into those particular fields, and then what helped you make the transition into being pretty much a breakfast empire builder, slayer, whatever you want to call
Fair,
it.
man, it slays me. So I'll tell you what. So it starts off kind of simple. I grew up in a Greek household, Greek American household, where it's go to school, get good grades, and come home with A's or don't come home at all. You know, this is kind of the thinking. So I did well in school because I had to. It was always restaurants. You had to work in them. They were fun to work in, but go to school. You're never going to have a career in this. It's you know, we work hard so you don't have to. It was kind of the mantra of my grandfather, my father, and so on. So I grew up with that pressure to do well in school. I did. After graduating high school, I graduated from Riverview here in Sarasota.
Okay.
I wanted to get away. I wanted to live life.
Of course.
Discover myself, whatever that means. So I applied to college in New York City. I'd never been to New York City at the time. I just figured it sounded like the place where things were happening. So I applied to NYU, never visited NYU, knew nothing about it, just sounded prestigious and fancy. I got in, and I got a full ride. So it was like, whoa, I'm going NYU, I guess, because why wouldn't I? So I did, and then upon doing that, it just kind of opened a lot of doors for me. I didn't know what I wanted to study. I knew nothing. Honestly, I did well in school. I liked social studies. Wasn't a big math guy. Psychology just kind of fit the bill. I figured the more I knew about people, that was never going to steer me wrong just in life, and it hasn't for what it's worth, so I don't necessarily regret it. Once I did that, I realized to move on with that degree, you got to get like a doctorate or be like a psychologist or a therapist. I was like, I don't really want to do that.
Right.
So what do I do? So I was looking at different options. There were different like consulting jobs, and just kind of just these jobs that I didn't know much about. And I actually stumbled into a career fair where Teach for America was there. It's a teaching organization where they basically train non-education majors to be teachers. They put you in Title I schools, like poorly funded schools, and it's a 2-year contract. From there, they'll pay for a master's, and then it's up to you to decide you want to stay or what's next for you. But I figured worst case scenario, it's a good resume builder. And also, I like the idea of teaching. I always liked kids. I was tutoring like throughout undergrad. I said, you know what, let's try it. Let's give it a shot. So I joined that. They place you. So you apply, and they tell you where you're going. They placed me in Miami. So I was like, you know what, that's not so bad. Close to home. Maybe it's a good thing. So moved New York to Miami. This was 2015. And actually, I did my training in Houston. So I did 3 months in Houston, teaching in Miami, and I fell in love with teaching. Teaching was so cool. I loved everything about it, to be honest with you, except the paycheck. That was the only thing. I was like, love the kids, love what I'm doing, but the system can be really crushing sometimes.
Can be.
Testing and everything. So I was like, you know what? Let me just continue to do my best. I got the master's degree at Johns Hopkins in Baltimore. I did it online, and I figured I want to continue to go as far as I can in education, but I realized the paychecks weren't really stacking up.
No.
I did some international teaching. I taught in South Africa for a summer. I taught in Prague. Yeah, I tried to maximize it for what it was worth, and I realized like there really wasn't going to be a future that I was happy building to support a family.
Sure.
So I was trying to figure out what do I transition into.
Yeah.
And I applied to like literally everything under the sun. I applied to law school on a whim because I figured it sounded good, right? And I know for history majors and psychology majors, it was kind of the pinnacle of a social sciences degree. And I applied to UM, and I got in with a scholarship. It was an ex-teacher scholarship. So if you were a teacher at a Title I school for X amount of years, this scholarship was for you to study education policy law. It's a full ride.
Yeah.
So it was like, I guess I'm going to law school.
Yeah.
That's
and I guess I'm
crazy.
staying in Miami. It sounds great. So I did. And it was a lot harder than I thought. It was not, I didn't know what to expect to begin with. I don't have any lawyers in my family. I didn't know what that even meant. But once I got in there, I was like, wow, this is tough stuff. A lot of reading.
But you have a law degree, right?
I do. I finished. I'll tell you what, I finished, but it was a struggle. I didn't love it. I didn't like wearing the suit every day. So I did my thing. I did my internships. And I was really trying to groom myself to be the best candidate possible. But my first semester, Papu passed away. So I came out to Sarasota a bit, spent time with the family, kind of kicked off that. We started talking, and then COVID happened. Once COVID happened, I actually moved home for a while because classes were remote, things were canceled for a while. You remember, you know.
Right.
So at that time, we got together. My mom and I cooked up this crazy idea to keep the legacy going. She had always wanted to have her own restaurant. That was like her dream for herself. So I said, you know what, Mom, maybe I can help you. I was learning about leasehold estates in law school. I was learning about all these processes that were relevant to maybe opening a business. So I kind of helped her out. I said, look, I'll set you up. You got to be there, pour the coffee, be the smiling face, be the face, and I'll at least...
And she is. She is.
Right? So I kind of got her set up, but then the restaurant took off more than expected. So what happened was it was busy from the jump, right, in COVID. So it was like, whoa, I was not expecting all this. So all of a sudden, I'm in the kitchen every week, and I'm actually running a restaurant. It was my full-time job. And I was trying to study, and I'm in the office trying to do my classes. It was nuts. It was nuts.
Right.
It was nuts.
Right.
Walk us through what that turning point was, that aha moment that said, let's do this amid all of the chaos.
But then the time came at the end of that semester to go back to school in person. So classes weren't online anymore. So I was like, all right, Mom, I opened you the restaurant. It was the first breakfast company in Bradenton. But now what? I got to go back. This degree is free. It only makes sense I continue doing it. So I ended up going back. I had to hire in management team. I found myself kind of remotely managing this business, driving home on the weekends, driving home for holidays. And I was living two lives, basically, for several years. Then I had to make a decision whether or not, what was going to be next, right? So I was in law school kind of pursuing this half-heartedly, but it's not the kind of thing you can be half-hearted in. It's a lot of work.
Right.
And all my classmates, it's like they're putting everything on this hyper-competitive environment. I was doing well. So what I told myself was, let me just work as hard as I can to position myself in the best position possible, and it's on me. If I don't want to take the good job I get offered, at least I earned it, and it's my choice as opposed to I didn't earn it, and I have no options. So that's what I did. I worked my way up, and for those 3 years, the law school 3 years, I was just doing a lot of back and forth, running the restaurant.
It's crazy.
It was a little nuts. I ended up getting an internship. I clerked for a federal judge in Tampa. I worked at an immigration business firm doing international franchises and licensing. It was pretty interesting, and I was kind of working my way out of education policy. Little by little, I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to take that elective. I think I'm going to take something else. Once I had the scholarship, there was nothing really binding me to the course load. So that's what I did. I kind of moved more of a business angle. When I graduated, I got the job at the firm I had been working in. I kind of groomed myself for this position, and I had to make a decision. It kind of came down to, look, I can't keep living like this. Once I take this job, it's either I take the job and do it for real, or choose to work the restaurant like I was told not to my whole life. So like a red pill, blue pill matrix situation. And I ended up choosing this. I tried doing both for a month. I worked 1 month, accepted the law.
Couldn't do it.
I'll help. Don't worry, Mom. I got it.
Couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it. Couldn't lie to myself. Couldn't lie to the firm. So I ended up telling them, look, guys, I'm sorry. And they gave me the big corner office downtown Miami. It was the life I thought I wanted. But I was like, you know what? I don't like wearing the suit every day. It's not me. It's not authentic. I was more excited about where the firm was going to lunch than the work we were doing. So I was like, you know what? This has been in my blood my whole life. I always want to work restaurants. So who am I kidding?
And what's the saying? Jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah,
right?
There you go.
So
that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, we're glad that you poured yourself into this, because this is one of the best places that I can think of for breakfast and lunch in Sarasota and Bradenton.
Right. It's definitely a community staple, absolutely. So when people are moving here, we make sure and share with all the businesses, places that they'll feel at home at, and yours is definitely one of them.
I appreciate that so much. I got big shoulders to stand on. With the family, it's kind of like seeing what they did my whole life, because my Papa George had the restaurants here in Sarasota. My dad's father, same thing. He had restaurants in Detroit. His name was Dimitri also. I'm a junior. So he had restaurants. My dad Nick had restaurants in the area for many years. So my whole life has been surrounded in this industry. So I take a lot of pride in what I do, and making everybody proud and so on, and doing that. So that's kind of how we got here. And then once I made that jump, things really picked up speed. I used my degree. I got an uncle of mine, and my uncle Billy and my aunt Lisa. They were in Canada. They were restaurateurs in Montreal. I got them an E2 visa to move down to Florida and invest with the breakfast company to help us grow it. So that was our first kind of expansion deal. That was in 2022. And then in 2022, 23, we opened a central commissary. We have a production facility. And that was really the catalyst for more
locations.
We opened more locations after that, and still doing it now. So the plan has continued from there.
No, it's good.
I'll tell you what, the cinnamon rolls are to die for. I don't know what kind of crack you guys put in them. Probably don't put crack, but a lot of sugar.
Right.
But they're absolutely dangerous, and that's in the best way, right? This is a big compliment here. But talk about, do you have any secret family recipes that were passed? You don't have to give us the secret, but any secret family recipes that were passed down, and how do those Greek flavors actually sneak into the omelets that you guys make? Like, amazing.
Good call. So yeah, we do. During COVID, we discovered my grandfather's recipe book, literally. And the funny part is, it wasn't like a nice bound book you'd expect. It was chicken scratch notes, half Greek, half English. Well, not to inherit, because what happens is a lot of testing that has to happen afterwards, right? And some of the recipes were written like a heaping spoonful. Yeah. What spoon? What do you mean a heaping spoonful? That's not a unit of measurement, So it was a lot of working backwards from there. So we took a lot of the recipes from El Greco that were relevant. So the tzatziki sauce, the salad dressing, the Greek dressing, the avocado lemon soup. We tried to kind of repurpose those and re-put them together. So a lot of taste testing to make them what they were. And in addition to that, we wanted to create our own story, our own recipes, right? So the cinnamon rolls kind of were birthed from that. The funny part is, we determined pretty early on we wanted to have cinnamon rolls. My mom's a baker, and she's a great baker, but she didn't really have a cinnamon recipe. She'd bake frozen cinnamon rolls like as kids and stuff, and we just always liked them. I said, you know what, Mom, we need a signature here at the breakfast company, because we can have croissants and muffins, everyone's got those, but like, what can make us stand out? So we kind of set it on a cinnamon roll because we all liked them, but we didn't have a recipe. You know, we knew what we kind of wanted to do, but we're like, all right, Mama, what do you got? You're the baker, go for it. And a lot of testing, and they weren't coming out. And leading up to open, we had our opening date on the calendars. It was like, all right, we got to get this right. The menus are printed. We got cinnamon rolls on them. What's the cinnamon roll, you know? And trying them. And finally, one day, it was like 2-3 days before opening. She's like, hey, I think I got it. Like, all right, let's see it. You know, we tested it. Like, wow, like this is the one. You know, and it's the same recipe.
Save that one.
So crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've exploded, 5 locations crushing it across the area. Tell us more about the team atmosphere and your slogan. How do you keep that stay strong, work hard, family first vibe rocking with family always on site and everyone feeling like they're part of the crew?
A lot of hard work, a lot of organization, right, to make all that happen. So first of all, the reason we like to have our family so heavily involved is because we're all maintaining my grandfather's legacy and the integrity behind that. So it requires people with stake in the game that actually knew the man to know what we stood for, right? So at this point, I have aunts and uncles. My mom, obviously, my wife, I kind of sucked her into the business now too, so she's working with us.
No escaping.
Friends, family members, yeah, and even like old staff members. We got people that have worked with our family for years that just wanted to kind of come back to work in this atmosphere. It was cool. No, it's really gratifying. So that's at a high level kind of how we do that, but it's just not losing sight of the values every day, making sure the team that we have understands kind of what it is that we stand for, and reminding everyone, treating people the right way at the end of the day is what it comes down to. If you treat people the right way, then it'll trickle down to, you know, experiences with guests and so on. So that's kind of our
that's a great culture. Great culture.
That's what keeps this place back.
Yep.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
All right, $1 million question. And just when we were talking off camera, you kind of hinted to this, so I'm just gonna ask this. What's next for the breakfast company? What, any crazy ideas happening on the horizon?
There's some stuff for sure. So we've got locations in Venice and Paris coming soon. Yeah, we announced those like in the fall and winter. They're a little behind schedule, but we're looking at June, July openings for each one. They'll be a bit bigger. We're excited about those. There'll be larger footprints, slightly new markets, because right now we're just Sarasota and Bradenton, pretty condensed. These will be a little bit different. The one in Venice has a drive-through, which is fun. So we're gonna sample out the drive-through game. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We're looking at companies like, you know, Dutch Bros and all these. You know, I drive by Chick-fil-A every morning. It's lined up every morning. And I'm like, well, hold on, guys. Why is it packed? You know, it's fast food. At the end of the day,
Your chicken's way better than theirs.
I'm
just saying.
And bigger. We're not
And bigger.
it every year. So
The chicken and waffles are like crazy here.
So what we decided was that we're gonna give it a shot. We're not gonna run the full menu out of the drive-thru. Mostly coffees, pastries, some quick stuff. But we're gonna give it a go with Venice, and then Paris is just a bigger location. So we're really excited about both of those. Some side stuff. I'm sure maybe you heard the news, but my stepfather, so my mom's husband, he purchased the Hobnob business that was over here on 17th Street and 301 for
another Sarasota icon.
Right.
I'm saying he's a contractor. He was working on the space for the landlord. Just, you know, it was the job, and kind of heard some rumblings that the guy was thinking about leasing it to somebody. And he came home to me with that. He's like, hey, you know, Hobnob, I don't know. 'Cause I asked him, hey, what's up with Hobnob? You've been working there for 4 months. What's going to happen? I love that place. I grew up eating there. He's like, I don't know, man. I think he might be looking to lease it. So I was like, whoa, what do you mean looking to lease to who? Does he have a plan? Oh, he doesn't? So that kind of one thing led to another. My stepfather's like, you know what, man? Like, if you're game, like, I'm down to do this if you help me. Because he's a contractor. He's got a lot of experience doing a lot of things. But ultimately, he's like, look, you got a team. You built a good thing. I think together we can really do this. So kind of jumped at the idea. The thinking was like to preserve a cultural icon. I grew up eating there.
It is.
Eating there. A place like that shouldn't just go away.
It shouldn't. You're exactly right.
This is right down the street. So you know what? We'll figure it out. I don't even care if it's easy or how we do it, but we're going to have to make it happen. So that's a super exciting one. That's going to open in the spring sometime. And then at the same time, sounds a little crazy, but we're bringing back the El Greco brand as well. So my mom has a twin sister, and she's been involved with us at Breakfast Company as well, helping found the brand. But she was the one working El Greco 20 years with my grandfather. She was the face in the front of the house over there. So for years, she's been wanting to kind of resurrect this brand and continue telling the story. So with Breakfast Company, we're doing this in daytime, but the idea is with El Greco, we'll be able to kind of continue the actual Greek legacy. We see Sarasota, it's not that many Greek restaurants. It's like, why not? Greek food's delicious, people want it. If anybody should be doing it, it would be us. We started it, so let's keep it up. So that's kind of one thing led to another. So we're opening on Clark Road, on Clark and Sawyer.
Okay.
It's called El Greco Kitchen and Market. It's gonna be a little bit different than the original El Greco. It's gonna be a fast casual style. So more like you're eating at like Cava or like Little Greek, like that style of dining. I'm thinking about the lunch crowd, a lot of to-goes and so on. We're also gonna have a market component also, selling authentic Greek products.
Love it.
So we have the real stuff, the good feta, the good olive oil. So that's what we're cooking, a lot of stuff. We're definitely working hard, but it's gonna be a beautiful year. We're very blessed.
What great contributions to the community.
Holy cow. Like,
Thanks. No, I appreciate it.
amazing. Like, we appreciate you doing this and letting us into We're downtown Sarasota on Orange Street. This is the Breakfast Company. Dimitri hanging out with us. We're enjoying great conversation. We're going to have some food here in a little bit. It's going to be amazing. You ever hear of the Dos Equis guy, the most interesting guy? That's Dimitri right there.
Yeah. He's so much education and knowledge that created this.
Oh, it's amazing.
Viewers, if you're anywhere near the Sarasota Bradenton area, get here ASAP. Mention your best Florida life for that extra smile.
All right, but now we're going to shift a little bit, and we're going to talk about Lakewood Ranch communities. America's #1 master plan community is absolutely on fire. It continues to grow. It has the old school communities built in the 90s and still some new builds going on right now. Check out our other videos for some other neighborhood deep dives. And don't forget to hit us up to take a personal tour if you'd like. But today we're going to zoom in on Summerfield, which is the OG, and then we're going to talk about Lorraine Lakes.
Beautiful. That looks so good, Brian.
So good. Since this is a Greek-inspired restaurant, what Dimitri just dropped off here in front of me, I actually have to go wide lens on this thing to get it. This is the classic gyro sandwich. Gyro? Well, how do you say it? Gyro. I'm going to try it.
Try it.
I'm going to try it.
Please do.
Got to get some of the sauce on here.
Absolutely. Gyro.
Holy cow. Exploding with flavor. If you're a gyro fan, gyro?
Gyro.
How come I can't say that?
I don't know.
Because
it starts with a G.
If you're a, I know. So, but if you're a Euro fan, I like this is a place to come. All right, on with the show.
Okay.
I'm going to let you do your thing while I eat.
First, the cozy classic Summerfield. This Lakewood Ranch neighborhood is old school, mid-90s vibes with those massive, drool-worthy oak trees shading every street like a giant Florida hug. Picture this. You're sipping coffee on your front porch, mature greenery everywhere, or eating a gyro. Kids zooming by to the park on their bikes without a worry. That real neighborhood magic. Homes from the cute starters in the $300,000 to $400,000 range. Bigger family pads with pools up to $600,000. Low HOA, top-rated schools, greenways for sunset walks. It's the spot if you want established charm, mature landscaping, no waiting for new builds, and that genuine laid-back Florida feel with epic barbecues and zero HOA drama.
I'm sold. I want to go there. Put that in front of her.
You guys say yes.
Awesome.
So big. Do you want me to move the water?
Holy moly, that thing is huge.
Look at they give it steak. Oh, you already cleaned it up? No, it's okay. Great, Brian.
Thank you so much. No, great. Dangerous? How was it?
Brian, that's one of the best cinnamon rolls I've ever had.
Really?
Wow.
Okay, guys, it's time to crank up the fun at Lorraine Lakes. This is a gated resort-style beauty built by Lennar. That screams vacation every day, sparkling mega pools, great clubhouse, pickleball battles. I still need to figure out how to get into those pickleball battles if I'm not a member of that community, but I'll go find out. Homes, you got townhomes, villas, and single family. When they were building it out, those homes were being sold anywhere between $400,000 to $500,000. Guess what? All the buildings done in this location. So now they're having resales pop up.
From Summerfield's timeless family heart to Lorraine Lake's resort-style escape, which one's got you packing your bags? Drop it in the comments. We're dying to know and ready to show you around.
And now it's time for our insider tip of the week. And I'll tell you what, we would be in trouble with everybody if we told them to come to Breakfast Company and we didn't give them this little tip, guys. You're going to want to come on a weekday. I mean, I don't know if you've seen behind us today. It's been pretty busy. It's kind of clearing out now. But on the weekend, if you're going to come on the weekend, you might want to have a little bit of protein before you get here because you might be waiting a while. And it is definitely worth the wait. I'm telling you what, that cinnamon roll, this gyro, whatever it is amazing. And this is what people line up for. 5 locations now. Everybody is clamoring to get into this place, and the food is spectacular.
That's a wrap on another mouth-watering episode of Your Best Florida Life. Massive thanks to Dimitri and the whole crew at the Breakfast Company. for the hospitality and flavor explosion. Time for me to get to this cinnamon roll.
I'm taking some of that. So just so you know. And a shout out to our sponsor again, Pelican Roofing. They're keeping roofs solid so that your Florida dreams can stay dry. Visit pelicanroofingfl.com for a free quote today.
Brian, I just want to encourage everyone to subscribe today. If you're ready to level up your best Florida life, from breakfast spots, dream homes, or full tours, please reach out. We are your advisors and your tour guides.
Yeah, so make sure you actually take action and go ahead and click that subscribe button. Join us every week, so make sure that you join us as we uncover great new places to explore, new restaurants to devour, and awesome conversations like we just had with Dimitri today. Amazing. So for your best Florida life, my name is Brian Best.
And I'm Alysa Casorla, helping you live your best Florida life.